when I started confiding in them and trusting them, I started feeling again, and it was a lot of work. It was really hard to start feeling again, but I also felt good things. Like I felt like true companionship and true joy and true love for them, and it wasn't just like buried. Like it wasn't a deep rooted like feeling that I was buried because I was afraid. It was like I was actually expressing it and like showing it, and like I knew like how to love, you know, because like I had always loved people or like wanted to hope, but like I was too afraid to like express that because I knew that too many times in my life, anytime that I had expressed any kind of vulnerabilities, it was shut down. Like it was crushed. Like it was hurt. And so I had all these like barriers, you know, because I couldn't handle being hurt anymore. And the numbness just like set in. And I just like, I don't even remember when it set in, but it set in and it was just a thing. um, and so that was a big, when I started feeling the bad things even worse, but I also like felt good things too, like I said. But the most important thing that I started feeling was hope. I started feeling like hope for a better future. Like before, I'd always thought, oh, I'm always going to be with my mom. Like I'm always going to be trapped. I'm always going to be taking care of her. Like I'm probably going to die before she does, and she's going to follow shortly after because she can't survive without me. Like blah, 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 blah. I always thought about this kind of stuff. And then with them, like when I started connecting with them, I had hope because like they didn't exactly have the most perfect families either, but they were still living and they still connected with people and they still loved and they loved me and I loved them. So I was like, I can live like them. Like I can do it. Like one of these days, like I can do it. And I didn't know how, but I wanted to and I hoped for that, you know. And soon enough, like 8th grade graduation to me represented like freedom because middle school sucked. Like it was horrible because of the bullies and everything. So I couldn't like wait to get out of there once I started feeling hope because like before I was just kind of like, I just have to suffer through another day, it's fine. But then once I started feeling hope, like I wanted out. Like I was like looking forward to every day because every day meant I was one day closer to leaving. And I was gonna see my friends, and school actually started to become like a good place for me. Like it wasn't a good place in the classroom, and it wasn't a good place without my friends, but with my friends when I was with them, like those like 30 minutes of lunch with them, or some like secret like looks at each other, or like giggles or texts on the phone to each other, like those were what I like loved about my school. Like that was like the one thing that I actually like loved about that time. And but 8th grade graduation to me just like started representing freedom because I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna get out of middle school and like high school is gonna be better because it's gonna be more people and maybe some people will help me. You know, like there's a bigger chance that somebody will help me because there's gonna be more kids there. Like somebody's gonna notice, somebody's gonna care, somebody has to care, somebody has to help me. And what I didn't realize was that the people that were going to help me, like I wasn't talking to because I was afraid of losing them, but by that point, like there's no way that they were gonna leave me. Like I was just like afraid because I had been left and hurt by so many people that I didn't know how to trust, you know. And then but by 8th grade graduation, like on graduation day and the ceremony, like I was looking forward to it because I was like so excited, and I was like, oh my god, like I even had my friend like lend me a dress because like I obviously didn't have any clothes, and she was like, she lent me a dress and she said that we could like get ready together, like all of us at her house. And I was like, oh my god, like that's so cool. Like I was just like, oh my god, I feel like a human, like I feel like a person. And then I took like my first shower for the first time in like months with her. But then like my mom called and she was like furious with me because I was gone, and I told her, like I had told her multiple times before that I wanted to graduate, but every time she fought with me about it because she didn't want me to leave. She like barely tolerated me going to school. but she kept stating that I need to like let her go to school so she can have a future, but I don't want her to. Like that was like one of her like things that she would say all the time, and like it was like really weird. But that wasn't her, it was her mental illness, so it's fine. But um but like on graduation like ceremony, like that was like the one thing that I was like, I really need this, like I really want this, like I can't let this go. So like I kind of just like went to it anyways, and like got ready with my friends anyways without telling her that I was doing it, because I already told her like I really want to go to the ceremony, I really want to go to the ceremony, and she kept saying no, 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 and she kept fighting me on it. And I just finally was like, I'm doing it anyways, like and then but when she called, she got like really like bad, and I'm so glad that I wasn't there with her when she was that way, because she was like, she had just like lost it, and was like screaming at me and like threatening me and like just like not good. And my friends were there with me, so they like heard, and they were like, once I finally like ended the call, they were kind of like, okay, you need to tell us. And I did, and like there were a lot of tears, and it was like really hard, but I did. And they were there for me, and they helped me, and they were like, there's no way that you can go back, we're gonna graduate together, and then you're gonna like periodically like live with us, like we're gonna like move you around to houses, and like you're gonna stay with us, and like we love you. And like I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like I'm free. And I was just like, was so ecstatic and so happy, and so like I just felt so like I like that was the best day of my life, like by far. And yeah, so like I don't like I don't know. um and so they did, but then after that they moved me to my grandparents, and my grandparents, who I recently found out are not great people. I mean, I kind of already knew that. Like I knew that they're not very emotional people, and they're very like rigid, and I told you before, like they're boring life, like so it's like the same thing every day, it's like the same food every day, it's like the same chores every day, like they do nothing but like the same thing. And then they watch the same like stuff on TV, like sports and news and like just old black and white movies, and I'm just like, I'm going insane. But the routine that they set was like good, because like it gave me time to think and work through my stuff, but and become more aware of like who I was and like what life was, you know? I don't know how else to explain it. But I also hated living there, because like it was so boring, and like I didn't feel connected with them, I didn't feel loved by them, and they like forced me to go to church basically, and like I don't know. But then I recently found out that they actually wanted custody of me, which is like insane, because they're not my family, like they never have been. They were just kind of people that I was like appreciate, because like my mom, the whole reason that my mom moved to Ripon was because of them, because she thought that they were going to be able to help her, but they didn't, because and I think they knew to some level that like my mom wasn't taking care of me, but they didn't care enough to like reach out and help us, which is something that I probably will never forgive them for. But then they did reach out and they helped me, but they didn't help her, you know? I thought they were helping her too, because like I assumed that the cops had come and they had taken my mom, and she was like in an institute, and like maybe my uncle and my grandma and grandpa were like visiting her, and they were like helping her, and like maybe at some point like I could live with her again, or like we could have a relationship again, because I was always hoping for that, because I never wanted to be separated from her, because I loved her. Like, no matter what she did to me, I still loved her, and like I still wanted a relationship. I just didn't know how it was gonna work. But I was also terrified and somewhat hated her and resented her for everything that she did. But I came to realize, like, it wasn't her. You know, it wasn't her. So, but then I found out that they wanted to like gain custody of me and like completely abandon my mom, and like they just wanted my custody because they wanted money. Which is like so sad because they're just like everybody else in Ripon. Like, they're no better than any of those like dumb kids at the school or any of those like ignorant staff. Like, they just don't care. And their family, and my mom loved them. My mom genuinely loved them and tried to trust them, you know. And like, they let her down. They let us down. Like, they're probably the worst of all of them because they weren't there for us, but then they were there for me, but they weren't there for me. They were there for me because I was an easy money-making thing and convenient. Which is like so fucked up. And like, they're really religious and they like preach. Like, my grandpa's a preacher, and like, they have like church things at the house all the time, and like, they're always volunteering for something, and they're just great Samaritan people. I just thought they were like a little bit more distant than the average people, and I thought they just had like a little bit more of a boring life. But I didn't realize just like the whole reason that their life is so boring and so rigid is because it's fake. Like, they don't live, like, they just survive and pretend, which is like, I mean, I was no better when I was living with my mom, but it was because I was scared and I was like trying to protect us and defend us, you know? It was a defense mechanism. It wasn't because I don't know why they do it. Like, I don't know like why they're that way, but they are, and it's just kind of like, I don't understand. Like, how are you that like heartless? Like, you just, and they have this like perfect image, and I'm just like, that's not real. It's not like, at all. It's just like really sad. So yeah, I appreciate their shelter and their, I actually didn't like their food. It was really gross. But like, I appreciate that they fed me, okay? But anything more than that? No. They did nothing. Nothing. So, like, I don't know. But if, for the love of God, what? My grandma keeps bothering me about eating. It's fine though. Oh, my throat is so dry. It's like dead. It's like dead. So yeah, but they might show up at the funeral too, which is something that I'm not looking forward to. They're gonna be all like, "May God be with you," and I'm gonna be like, "May God fuck you over, cause your God is useless. Like, fuck you, and your fake shit. Like, dude, like, it's so fucked." But like, it just horrifies me that like all of these people were people that like were either related to my mom and me by blood, and somebody that like you instinctively like want to trust and want to love, or they were like her grandparents. Like, my grandparents, like, they were her foster parents, but like she really like appreciated them and she really loved them, and they got her into religion. They got her to like worship God, and like they gave her faith and they gave her hope, and she like really loved them and she really trusted them. And then to find out that they're that way and my mom like trusted them, like, is just so wrong to me. Like, they didn't deserve her. Like, a lot of people in my mom's life and in my life did not deserve her at all. Because like, they wanted me because like I was like this pretty little innocent, like naive little girl, or so they thought, and they thought that I was like easily manipulated. But I never left my mom's side because I knew that like I wanted my mom, like, you know. And like, I didn't trust them. Like, I never trusted any of the family that like we were introduced to. Like, I just never did. And I always like came back to my mom, and I always loved my mom because like I knew that she was one of the only people in life that really loved me. I mean, she never did exactly the right thing, and she didn't always, well, I mean, she never really, she really tried to take care of me, okay? And like, we just like, I don't know, like, the one thing that I knew to trust with her was her love for me. And that's like like unbeatable. Like you can't change that. I don't care if like you could offer me like financial security or like support and like no pain. It's not worth it if you don't love me. Like I would have gone through my whole life all over again if it meant that I could still be living or like still have my mom, because her love was irreplaceable, and I will always love her and I will always respect her and like respect her strength and trying and her love for me, because she did her best and they didn't. All of those people in our lives that neglected us or like ignored us or like decided to be bystanders and not do anything for us, they're not worth it. Like I didn't care what they had to offer me. I didn't care if they offered me like food or like financial security or like shelter or religion even. Like I didn't care because it wasn't her love. It wasn't my mom. Like she was irreplaceable, and like you could never ever come to what she was to me or compare. And like that is why I stayed with her, and I would do it all over again if it meant that I could like shove it in their faces and be like, fuck you. Like you will never understand what we like went through and what like our love for each other was. You never will. So just bye-bye. Like yeah, I pity them because they will never understand what we had, and like will never understand me or how strong we are. I'm trying to be strong, but like I said, the only reason that I'm strong is because I have the people that I love by my side, like my uncle and my best friends and other people that like I know care for me in their own way, but don't really like love me, and I don't really trust them. But like I do appreciate their care, but like I know that like they're kind of like a lot of other people in my life that like if I reveal too much, like they're gonna disappear. Like that's just what happens. So I mean, I do appreciate their care, and I do think that they want to support me, and they do have good intentions, but like good intentions are not love, you know, and they can never like ever be what my best friends or my uncle is to me. So yeah. So yeah, yeah, I'm out of tears right now, but like probably gonna have tears like in a little bit. But like, you know, I'm kind of happy that I didn't. Well, I mean, I'm not happy because tears are a good thing. Like they really do like help, you know, like they like tears are good, they're healthy to express, but they're also like ugly. But it doesn't matter. But like I'm good that I didn't cry because I didn't get like too emotional, and I was able to like tell everything that I needed to say, which is like really good, because like I did need to say all of this. Like I just needed to like know, like I needed you to know and me to know too, like that this doesn't change anything. Like just because she's gone doesn't mean that I don't love her still. Like just because I never had anybody doesn't mean that I'm not strong. Just because I was hurt doesn't mean that I can't be vulnerable. And just because I'm young doesn't mean that I can't grow or haven't grown, you know? And that doesn't mean that I can't be respected either, because like I'm like I've done a lot and I've been through a lot and I've survived and I'm trying to live, because there's a difference between surviving and living, because I am a survivor, but I'm trying to live, you know, like I'm trying to be someone who lives, not just survives, you know, because I've survived my whole life. Like I want to start living, and it's going to be really hard without someone that I really loved, but I'm going to try and live for her and for the rest of the people that love me and that I love, and I'm just gonna keep living, or keep trying to live, because I really want to live, you know, like I want to live, not just survive. But we're not die. As much as I crave death sometimes, and as much as I just want to go back into my numb survivor, like, I wanted to say mode, but that sounds like a game. But, like, as much as I crave those things sometimes, and sometimes I do slip into it, like, sometimes I get really suicidal, and sometimes I do dissociate, like, really badly for long periods of time, but I always come back because my will to, like, live is stronger than those things, you know? Like, I'm just gonna keep trying, you know? Like, that's the most you can do in life, is keep trying. And even if that trying is just continuing to breathe or walk somewhere, like, that's enough, because you're still trying in your own way, you know? And that's, like, enough. That will always be enough, as long as you're trying in some small way. If you give up, then you have nothing. But if you try, you have everything. So, when did I become smart? You know? I'm just kidding. I've been smart my whole life. I was born smart. I'm just kidding. Ugh, I hate myself. Anyways, so yeah, that's, like, that was a crack. It's like 10:33. My grandma said it was almost lunchtime. Sweetie, chill out. Okay, anyways. My throat is so dry. It hurts. But, I'm gonna try and eat something, even though I'm not hungry. And I'm gonna probably drink a lot, because, I mean, not alcohol, obviously, but, like, drink something, because, like, I really need it, because, like, my throat is, like, parched, like, really badly, like, ugh, like, my tongue is literally dry, like, that's not okay. Yeah, nope, we're gonna try, you know, like, just try, just do it, you know, like, this, just do it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, and this is a meme from an actor that's, like, really funny. But I gotta go, because I'm done with this, like, story, because I finished, you know, like, I did it. Like, I talked, like, for an hour and a half almost, but I did it, and it was really important, and it was really good for me, and, like, I'm really grateful that I, like, have this outlet to, like, speak to you guys and, like, tell my story, and, like, yeah, so I'm really, like, happy that I got to do this, and I'm so grateful that, like, I have the people that I love behind me, and, like, I'm gonna continue living for them, or trying to live for them, and maybe someday I can live for myself, but that might be for a while, and it might be a little bit. I don't know, but I don't really care, because I know that I always have the people that I love by my side, and yeah, so, anyways. It doesn't matter how many people that don't love you, or it doesn't matter how many people that neglect you or hate you. As long as you have at least one person by your side who you truly love and who you truly trust, that's enough. Like, it doesn't matter, you know? It doesn't matter if the entire world is against you. Like, as long as you have that one person, you're going to be more than fine. You're going to survive, and you're going to live, and you're going to be okay. Because that's what love does for you. It works, like, beautiful things, like, and, like, just, oh my god, I'm getting cheesy, but, like, you know what? It's fine. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.